Hello, thank you for joining me today. Here's an invitation to follow your passion, create your own path by sharing my own. We're going to be painting with some simple primary colors, crusty brushes from my classroom. Let's get started. Well, my journey kind of started out very early, I guess. I think everybody at their young age, maybe 7, 8 years old, and they'll be like, well, I wonder well, this is not good. If you can tell, I have never done this before, so it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be a mess. Sorry. Sorry, I was saying, when I was young, 7, 8 years old, I was very puzzled with all the different peoples, saying different kind of things, seeing a lot of different things, just very confused. For example, when I, go to a tourist site with my parents, and then they'll say, oh, you cannot take pictures with these statues of Buddhas or whatever. I was like, well, there are other people taking pictures. Why can't I take pictures? There's also situations where when my grandma was alive, my grandma lives in my aunt's house, Ari's house, and then they had a shrine dedicated to the Buddha or Guanyin or something, and we would prepare food for it, and it was an interesting phenomenon, and I'll be like, okay, what is that all about, right? I was very confused. And then there's also talking, people know about Jesus, Buddha, and then there's all kind of things. And I was just really curious. I really want to know, what is the, all these things, we can't really see, and people have different beliefs about them. What is it all about? I didn't understand. So I prayed to have answers. I want to know. And I was like, please tell me, if there's I remember specifically where I was sitting on my windowsill in my parents' house, and I was late at night, I was like, oh, please, just show me and tell me what is the one true God? What is the one true religion? Which one should I believe? Which one is true? And obviously there's no answers. And I think, well, now I'm ready to share some of that. I think by sharing mine, maybe you can find yours too. The answer is quite simple, actually. Anyway, oh, yeah, the answer is follow your passions, just live your life. Um, when you're young, you might not have a better image of all of it, right? You might not know what's going on. You might think, oh, okay, this is what people say, maybe this is what I should do. When we don't have the answer, when we don't know something, we tend to, look out. Like we're looking for answers out there. That's just as silly as you don't know who you are and you kept asking other people, hey, who am I? Who am I? Have you seen those funny videos, like TV shows, where people are like, I don't know who I am? You can never find the right answers of who you are by seeking out. You have to seek within. Not saying, oh, keep asking yourself. No, that's not what I'm saying. As live your life. Don't expect the answers just going to show up, because they won't. But by living your life, it can be. For example, like I said earlier, I did not know. I did not know which one is true God or true belief. Which one should I believe? I kind of just left it there, and I didn't continue investigating about it. And I just let it be. Well, at different ages of my, growing up, I had different things that I'm interested in, from, playing basketball to playing video games to aliens. I was really interested in alien. Growing up in China, there wasn't a lot of alien talk. Probably in the parts of the world, United States too, back in the days, when people talk about aliens, everybody's like, oh, you're a cuckoo. I mean, times are different now. People are like, oh yeah, we know about aliens, but back then it wasn't a thing. So I was just interested, and I would spend hours. My mom would take me to a bookstore, and I'll spend hours just be looking for informations. And a lot of the abductions, it's actually in the United States. Roswell, whatever you call it, and Area 51, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. I really wish I can. It would be cool if I had the experience, right? But wishing or praying for special encounter to happen, it never happens. No alien ever abduct me. Not wanted, not desired, I guess. Not desirable. This is harder than I thought it is. To paint and talk at the same time. This is crazy. This is way hard. I didn't thought it would be this hard. I can't concentrate on either one. I can't really formulate my thought to have a train of thoughts. This is not gonna go well. Anyway, so let me just try to focus on formulating my thoughts then. So at least we finish the story and I can be all done painting, right? At different stages of my life, these things just keep on happening and passing by, and just move on from it. At different, for example, when I was in middle school, high school, I was obsessed with video games and basketball. I did not like school, and I'll skip school and I'll watch NBA with time differences. So like I have to skip school to watch NBAs, and that was cool. So I was definitely a rebel. So now, when my kids and my students are being disobedient, I'll be like, oh, I understand that feeling. Who likes to be told what to do, right? That would be boring. Anyway, so I ended up have to drop out school for a while. I went to work, odd jobs, and those didn't last long. When I was, I think, middle school, I have to stay behind 1 year because I haven't had school for, I missed too much school. And I was like, I didn't like working those odd jobs, to be honest. It wasn't really fun jobs. And when I decided I want to go back to school, and I just tried to do everything I can to stay in school. In China, school it's tough. It's literally like a factory. It's locked down. I just had this feeling. It's like, well, I don't feel like I'm dumb. And why can't school be more fun? Like, just why does it have to suck? Like, it's just really bad. It feels like I was in a prison, even though I've never been to a prison. I just feel like I wasn't enjoying it. And when I was in high school, I was really wishing that I'll be a teacher and I will change how school works. That's how naive I was, thinking the teachers get to decide everything, right? Well, you're like, oh yeah, look, you become a teacher. But the journey wasn't that easy. It wasn't, oh, I decided I'd be a teacher, right? It wasn't like that. Middle school, after I came back to school, I was like, okay, I better try my best to stay in school. And in high school, there was this game called World of Warcraft. It was phenomenal. The lacking in the real world. Like, I wasn't successful in my studies with my, other classmates and friends. I tried to make it up in games. And I missed quite a bit of school. And by the second year, sophomore year, and they want to kick me out. I was like, no, you can't kick me out. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go back on the society. Like, I don't want to work those odd jobs. That's not part of my plan. You can't kick me out. And that's like the first time ever I learned my actions actually has a consequences. And to be honest, prior to that, I never really take any consequences. My mom spoiled me so bad and always trying to cover for me. My dad didn't really care anything I did, really. So, I really lost, really. Like, it was just, really, I was lost. And I had to make a deal with the school and the class. I was so selfish, and I'm still very selfish. At the time, we would take turns, rotate to do cleanups and, taking out the trash, wiping the floors and the whiteboard, the chalkboard, blackboard. It just all kind of cleaning jobs. And I would always run. Like, just as soon as the bell rings, I dash. I don't stay to clean up. It's only for losers. So the deal I had to make is that I clean up for everybody to make up all the misses I have done, right? And gosh, I tell you, you gotta have your children to suffer their own consequences so they can learn. Like, it's literally their learning opportunity. As parents, as teachers and guardians, every time we think, oh, let me do that for you, you're actually robbing your children for their growth. You can imagine it as there's something yummy. You think about your favorite food. You love your food so much, you like it. And then somebody came over, it's like, well, I can eat it for you. What? No. You see, experience and learning, these are all great things. We shouldn't be like, oh, they're struggling, that's why we need to do it for them. No, just let them try it. Being in education, spending so much time with the kids, is so fascinating to, try out all the teaching methodologies and all the ways how to educate kids, and you can see how all the kids react to certain things. It's such a wonderful privilege. So wonderful. For example, I have kids always came up to me with a glue stick like this. And they'll say, oh, it's Mr. Wong, help me open it. I can't open it. All I do, I open it and I close it just as tight as it is. And I give it back to them. You would think physically there's no way they will open it again because they just tried, they couldn't. But let me tell you, 99 times out of 100, they would open it right up, just like that. And that one time out of 100, they just take some longer time. Like physically, if they have hands, then they can do these things. But often I just see they're expecting you to do it. Either it's let you fold the paper, let you cut the paper, let you draw the things, let you do anything. My advice, let them do it. Let them try it. Maybe they will fail at it. And this is what I'm saying is that follow your passion. You never know where that will take you. You never know. You'd probably be like, Mr. Wong, I love your paintings. I love your drawings. Matter of fact, I wasn't good at it. And honestly, I see a lot of students. They're way better than me. But they're not confident in themselves. The favorite thing they like to say, they like to ask, I guess, is, Mr. Wong, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you like it? I don't tell them, what do you think? Because it's honestly doesn't matter to anybody else if other people likes it or not. All it matters to you. Only when they say, oh yeah, I like it. That's when I like, yeah, of course I like it too. There are studies suggested that compliments are actually not helping the kids. They're saying constructive compliments or criticism, that's when it helps. So now you just have to think, where are you going to be? I didn't start out as an art student. The last year of my high school, I know that I want to stay in school because I didn't want to go back to work in the society, those odd jobs as a waiter, waitress. It's hard work. Matter of fact, huge admiration and respect to those people who works in the service. I worked one day as a waiter and I just couldn't do it. It's just too hard. Where I came from growing up, I never lift a finger to do any dishes, any laundries, nothing. My parents always do it. And where I have to serve other people, where I have to be respectful, where I have to deal with the dirty dishes, it was just so hard for a high schooler. And I decided to stay back in school. So after I cut a deal with the school and classmate teacher and the principals, I clean up everything for everybody. I stay in school. But last year, I was like, wow, I can't make any college with this kind of, scores. It's just impossible. So where my mom was inspired, actually, my mom is such an influential character, like in my life, at least first part of my life. I think she was talking to somebody and randomly people are, just talking about their doing, have the kids enrolled in like art schools. So it's not just academic. You also have a specialty, right? Either you dance, you're playing instruments, or painting and drawing. So it was a huge decision where my mom and I were like, okay, we're gonna just use the last year of our life and just study art and see if that's gonna take me somewhere. So I spent about 3 months learning how to draw and paint, and then yeah, I got into university. It was crazy. It's almost like I knew, we knew that at the time, it's like, this is the path we need to take. And when I apply for universities, I apply a university in Dalian where it's training educators. And according to the scores of the previous years, I should be accepted in there. But I wasn't. That year, the score was over 100 points higher the year I was, going through it. And so I wasn't accepted. And that was a tough time. The couple of days. My mom's, I feel like she probably lost a couple of her good years there, worrying like, oh, where should I go? So anyway, later I was accepted into Dalian Ocean University. And that's a new chapter of my life. That's, at the time they didn't had ways of having students study abroad. So it wasn't even a thing. And then, of course, later I was able to study abroad in the United States. Thanks to the study abroad program, 2+2. So I say, in life, sometimes things happens even though it might seems like not a good thing. Such as my dropout, such as I wasn't really good at studying. That's why I started studying art, and such as just so many things. Often you have to realize a lot of things you don't have control over with. You gotta let it go for the things you cannot control. Like such as that's the first year um, the score was different for the college exams, entrance. Like, you can't control that. And you got dropped out. Or that's the first year Dalian Ocean University changes its name, and it had more people applying. I mean, it got accepted. Um, my art school wasn't even the first one. Like, it wasn't even there yet. It was the first year. I remember we had to build our school together. There wasn't even an existing student body. And then, of course, when I came to the States, it's the same thing. Funny enough that, there wasn't this school yet. So letting go of those things you have no control over with, and let it flow. You don't have to be trying, thinking, oh, I have to do this. You don't have to do anything, really. Just being you. Even though you're like, well, I wish I can do this, this, this. But you honestly don't know that what could be better. I hope you know that you have to be you. Because without you being you, then the world is not really complete. Everybody has to be different and unique and special, in a sense that otherwise then there's no need to have another you. You know, think about universe. Uni means one. So even though you think about universe as everything, if it contains everything, it contains you. So that means you have to be the one. My journey started right here. This is a place called Thousand Mountains, Qianshan. Think about it. Without the 1,000 mountains, even less than one, then it wouldn't be complete. Without one in the universe, without uni, it wouldn't be universe. So I hope you have a good day. Follow your passions. Sometimes it might seem like you don't know what's going on. You might be lost, but that's all okay. Just keep on living. You don't have to try. Just breathe. Just thinking, I am. I think, there I am. I think, therefore I am. I think. Okay. Have a good day. Love you guys.